For those of you who don't know, this semester I am a part of the Co-College Asia term. The program is directed by Dr. Bob Drexler, which, by the way, we're his final group, his smallest group, and his only group ever to be comprised of just women. The program is in its 10th year, and each year the students stay 4 months in Southeast Asia, visiting Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos, with a slight chance of visiting Myanmar or Burma if you prefer. Of course, to get to Southeast Asia is a bit of traveling. So our group began on Wednesday, January 13th at 5 a.m. technically in the Cedar Rapids Airport, with our flight leaving at 7 a.m. Everyone was in pretty high spirits. At this point, we were maybe having mixed feelings. Excitement, nervousness, maybe drowsiness. So at 7 a.m., we hopped on our flight and said goodbye to Cedar Rapids. At around, 8:40, we arrived at Dallas with a little bit of a layover. Again, we seemed to feel pretty good despite our incredibly long impending flight from Dallas, Texas to Incheon, South Korea.
Sheila, what are we about to do?
We're about to get on a big plane for way too long.
Which is over a 15-hour flight. It was mostly a lot of entertaining ourselves, sleeping, sometimes entertaining others. Finally, at 5:35 South Korea time on Thursday, January 14th, we landed in South Korea. I was feeling pretty drained. One of the other girls on the trip, named Sila, had some oils, which were actually pretty helpful. This is her showing Hannah how to cure a stomachache with peppermint oil. So that helped a little bit. So then we tried to embark on our final flight to Bangkok, but because it was snowing in South Korea, we were delayed 45 minutes. But finally we were in the air, and this was actually the hardest flight, even though it was only 6 hours, because I was really, really done with travel, and all I could think about was a bed. Also, I threw up twice. So finally, we land in Bangkok, Thailand at 12:30 a.m. on January 15th, a Friday, and if you recall, we departed from Cedar Rapids at 7 a.m. on the 13th, a Wednesday. So I'm not sure how many hours that is total. I would say almost 30 if you count layovers, but because there were time changes and stuff, I'm not sure how many hours we were actually traveling. But as my dad said, we basically skipped over Thursday. So while we're at the airport, we had to go through some immigration thing, visa upon arrival. I'm not exactly sure, but we were there for another hour and a half maybe. And then from the airport, we did more traveling. We had to get to our guest house, which was still also in Bangkok, but because Bangkok is such a really big city, it was at least another 30 minutes away. So here's Bangkok at night, which I don't think you can see very well, but it was huge. So finally we arrived at the guest house at around 2:30. The guest house looked like this during the day. This is actually a Christian guest house, which is special because about less than 1% of the Thailand population is Christian. Something was a bit confused when we arrived, and that was being figured out. So while that happened, half our group went to a convenience store to get some food. Here's something a little bit crazy. While we were waiting, we met this woman who had come downstairs, this American woman, and we got talking, and she asked where we were from, in which we replied, obviously, that we were from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Turns out that she was from Waterloo, Iowa. So we had just traveled roughly 8,000 miles to meet someone 55 miles away. But then after this happened, the men who worked at the guest house informed us that the rooms we had checked out were still occupied because the people in them decided to just stay. So they said they had a room for us to sleep in, the lounge.
Good night, everybody.
So as you can see, it was just a room with some chairs in it. So again, after hours of travel and just dreaming of a soft bed, we slept on some cushions. But the thing is, I arrived safely in Thailand, which is where I will be for the next 7 weeks. So for anyone who's interested, I will be posting these videos as often as I can. I can't promise a set schedule, but please feel free to watch these videos, especially the next video where we will be exploring Bangkok, Thailand. Thank you so much for watching.